Hello and welcome. Welcome to this live workshop where we are going to walk you through exactly how you can make $1,000 before the holidays. Now, we are going to show you a lot of ways, a lot of different ways that you can do that. It's really important that you pick the one that is good for you and not try and pick every single one of them at the same time. All right, so if you are tuning in live or you're watching the replay, just let me know in the comment with a hashtag live or hashtag replay. So for those who don't know me, I am Sophie Ryleigh, and I'm very, very, very excited to have you here today. Now, before we get started, this is going to be seriously jam-packed of actions. This is the workshop to give you all of the tools you need to take action. Okay, so be sure that you're taking notes and maybe watch this a few times and then just be ready to take actions. But I want to give you hello to everyone popping into the comments. I want to give you the best advice before we get started and before we dive in. It's really, really, really important that you know exactly what your goal is, that you know exactly how you're going to get there and all of the steps. What that means is that sometimes it can be we get into the procrastination, right? Because we don't know how. So most often my clients are not selling because they don't know how. They don't feel comfortable or they haven't quite figured out in their head on paper exactly how they're going to get there. So make sure that your plan is solid so that there is no procrastination, allowed. There's no space for it. There's no overwhelm. There's just a whole week of actions so that you can get to your goal. So hello everybody, let me know where you are coming in from today. Here we are in Ottawa, expecting some snow and some freezing rain overnight. Super excited to get started with the holidays coming in. So we're gonna get started right now. Our first speaker, her name is Ryleigh. She's a business sales coach, and she's going to teach us how we can create the perfect sales pitch, which is absolutely, you need one. You really, really need one. So it is definitely the perfect speaker to get us started. Now, Ryleigh could not join us live, but I have a video that I will put on for you to listen to and just bring me all of the questions that you have into the comments. So I'll be sure to answer those. So let me share this video with you right now. All right.
This event, I thought about a few different things. I thought about, what were some of the things that I wish I knew when I was starting off in my business? What were some of the key learnings that helped me create regular income and regular revenue? And what was the turning point that's helping myself and my clients hit six figures? So I'm just excited to dive in with you. Today's topic is on how to create an irresistible pitch. And the pitch is such an important part. So this is going to be so much fun, but I'm going to preface it with you to say that this event, and tonight in particular, you're going to want to take notes as we go through. What I want to go over with you is how you can take strategic action right away so that you're able to accelerate your results. So that means that we got to dig in here, right? We're not just going to do surface level, we're going to actually dig in a bit. And to do that, we need to take notes to lock in the lessons. Okay, so let's take a look at the true focus for tonight, and that is how to create an irresistible sales pitch, right? And we don't want to just have a basic sales pitch, just a general conversation. We're going to talk about all the details so that you can pitch with confidence and really attract your ideal customer. So let's take a look together. So first off, what actually is a sales pitch? What is it and what is it not? So a sales pitch is an attempt to persuade someone to buy your product or services. You can pitch in many different realms. You can pitch in the DMs, you can pitch over the phone, face to face, over Zoom. All of those things are valid opportunities to sell your services. I will always preface when I say pitching in the DMs requires relationship building over just blasting cold DMs. And that's one of the things that I believe is absolutely key to having great conversations and actually getting trust with people. So ensuring that you are not just kind of throwing out 3 paragraphs of join my group or join my challenge, like get to know someone first. So what is a sales pitch? What is not a sales pitch? A sales pitch is not just a monologue, right, of the features of the product, where you just go over and over all the features you can possibly come up with, right, as a way to convince someone that they should work with you. It's not a one-sided conversation either. And that part is really, really important to just soak in, right? A pitch is not a one-sided conversation. It's not a list of all the features that the product has. And it's not you trying to share as much information as possible. Okay? Instead, a pitch is a conversation with your buyer. Okay? And there are a few important things that go into a really good pitch. Step 1 is a great pitch starts by asking really good questions. Okay, you need to understand where that person is coming from and what their needs are before diving down the road of this is how I can fix your life, right? And I know you've seen it, right? I had 3 of them today actually. I don't know if it was like they knew that we were going to be having this conversation. Maybe that was it. But I literally had 3 of those conversations today where people were like, hey, I can help you with lead generation, or I can help you with sales. And I was like, you know nothing about me, which is very evident, because if you did, you would know that lead generation is not my opportunity. Sales is not my opportunity. Like, those are not the things I need support with. If you want to respond to some of my viral posts, that might be helpful. But aside from that, I don't need help with that stuff. And so, but by asking, what these people could have done differently is they could have asked questions about my business. And that's what you need to do. You need to ask questions about your ideal client's business. And there are 4 different types of questions that you want to ask, right? But I always really focus in on, because some of them can be done ahead of time with research and all that good stuff. But the key questions that you want to ask are pertaining to their overall opportunity or their overall problem. What is it that they need support with? And really getting to the understanding of how you can be the person to offer it. Because the truth of it all is that if you may have a phenomenal product, but if you don't qualify the client, which is what asking great questions does, you're going to really struggle to land with people. You have to qualify them and ensure that they can actually benefit from your services. And that's the beauty of asking really great questions. So a great pitch starts with asking great questions ahead of time. The next thing that you want to do when it comes to your pitch, and this is an interesting thing, is you want to really focus on the customer. So what does that mean? You want to talk about the person using the product, not just about you and your wins. And here's the thing, okay? As entrepreneurs, you have worked so hard at what you do. You've worked to figure out how to get in front of people, how to do X, Y, and Z, and you're proud of it, and you should be. It's not an easy road that you've chosen, so you should be proud of what you've accomplished. But sharing that with the client at that point in time is not the right time. We have to really change our focus to pull away from ourselves and focus in on that person. because they are the ones who need to see themselves going through the transformation that you are offering. They're the ones that need to see themselves getting the benefits that you are talking about, right? At the end of the road, at the end of your coaching or your training or whatever your service is, they're the ones that need to see. If you're a marketer and you're offering, lead generation, for instance, they're the ones that need to see themselves like qualifying 10 people a week and having phenomenal conversations and closing 3 deals each week, and whatever it is that their goals are, like they have to feel it. And if they don't, because we're spending too much time talking about ourselves or our experiences or how we got to where we were, that you're going to lose the interest. They're going to lose the interest because they're not seeing themselves, they're seeing you. And it's harder to put yourself in the other person's position, right? Does that make sense? So the next piece to the puzzle is you want to use storytelling. And storytelling allows people to see the vision, okay? When you talk only about, if we talk about the features of a product, and we can use, for instance, like a cell phone, for instance. And when we talk about the features of a cell phone, we might say that it has, this type of camera lens or these type of speakers, or the screen size is this big and it has this memory and speed and it's 5G and all the juice, right? We're going to talk about all the meat. But the client isn't feeling anything from that. Okay, they're not feeling anything from that. But if you can use storytelling to share with them, like, with this phone, when you're on vacation at the beach with your family, right? And you can feel like the breeze going through your hair and you can smell the salt water, and like it's such a beautiful, like gorgeous day, and you take out your phone because you want to take a picture of that moment. You want to capture that moment. This camera is the one that's going to capture the moment, and you're going to be able to look back on it, and you're going to be able to smell the salt, right? You're going to be able to feel the sun on your skin from capturing that moment. Like, that's the storytelling. That's what lets people say, oh, okay, I'm there. I'm with you. I feel it. The next part of this process is to offer solutions and not features. So features tell and solutions sell. I love that saying. I don't know if you've heard it before. If you've heard that saying before, features tell, solutions sell, say it in the chat, say a me for me, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook, give me a little me if you've heard it before. That saying is so much fun because of, obviously it sounds fun, but at the same time, it's so true. The features are the ones that tell you all about the product, right? All the things that they're going to get from it, right? But people are not just about understanding the basic features of what something's going to give them. That's not what really sells people. And I want you to think about it. Like, think about the last, product that you maybe bought. And, maybe it was like let me think of something. Like, maybe, I love the cell phone example, right? So maybe it's a cell phone, and the features of the cell phone, again, are like the lens and, how big the phone is, and, like what type of camera it is, how much memory it has, can it fit an SD card so that you can have an external memory, how quickly does it work, what's the speed on it, so, can you keep up with the latest gaming apps and all that stuff, right? Can you film video on it, and what does it look like? Can you do some special touches? Like, those are all the features of what this looks like. But the solution, right, is that the camera is going to give you better quality pictures so that you can capture your memories. The larger screen means that the picture quality and the visibility is going to be better when you want to flip back through and look at them. So those are the solutions to the product. The features, however, simply are, all the techie stuff. And however important the techie stuff is, people really tie into the solutions in a deeper way than they do the tech. So the next, I want to give you, and then we're going to do a little activity together. I want to give you the actual 5 steps to an irresistible pitch. This part is key. Okay, this part is really key. So step 1 is you want to identify what the problem is. You want to identify what the opportunity for the person is. What's the pain point? Like what's wrong, and what do they need support with? And once you identify that problem, then you want to highlight a feature. Okay? Not all the features. One is sufficient. Just one. You want to pick the feature that is going to tie to the client's opportunity the deepest. Okay? So what feature is actually like relates the deepest to their true problem? And then you pull, those two things are going to be pulled together. Then, okay, you want to spotlight what the solution is. So that's when you're going to offer, that's when you're going to like offer your actual solution. This is how I support you through this. You want to present an action. This is your next steps. And then you can share the result. This is what's going to happen when you do this. So these 5 steps, when put into action, are incredible. These 5 steps, when put into action, are truly incredible. It's not a long thing. You can write it out ahead of time and have like a couple different processes or a couple different thoughts and practice them ahead of time. But when you alter your process in this way, it changes the dynamic of the conversation, and all of a sudden the client is saying, yeah, like I'm seeing it. I see how you can help me. I see why you can help me. Okay? And you're no longer having to convince or persuade. You're no longer having to beg or, try and like push them into something. You're simply highlighting why you're the right person to support them through it. It's very simple. So I want to give you an example of like this in action, because I thought it was like, and believe it or not, my example is my husband. So my husband is absolutely obsessed with appliances and technology. He's a big techie, and for some reason he likes kitchen appliances as well, which I don't know where that comes from, but that's him. And he had been harping on me to get an Instapot. Does anyone have an Instapot? If you have one, put it in the chat. Say, I have one. Say me. Okay? I'm curious if you have one too. So, he had been harping me about this Instapot for like the longest time, for years. He had been asking, like saying, we need to get the Instapot. It's this, it's that. And like, I'm just going to be frank with you. I hate appliances. I'm like, I hate those kitchen top or countertop appliances, because they just like, I believe less is more. They take up a lot of space, and I would personally prefer to have a few high quality appliances than all of them. Okay? And so he tried convincing me that we needed to have this thing. He's like, you need the Instapot. And he would tell me all the things that the Instapot can do. It can cook rice, it can saute, it can pressure cook, it can cook a whole chicken in 30 minutes. Okay? And the list goes on and on and on, right? But here's the deal. It's like, I am the cook in the household. He knows how to cook, like he knows how to do a couple things, but I'm the cook. And so it wasn't a matter of him like actually wanting the appliance. He wanted me to have the appliance and actually use it. And I was just adamantly against it. And I will say that he was wise enough to not just get it for me for like a Christmas or a Mother's Day or some type of present, right? Because he knew that I was not about that. So then he changed tactics. He was very, very clever, actually. He changed tactics. And then he started telling me about, all the time that I was going to save, and how I would be the person to perfect Jamaican rice and peas in the Instapot, and how the Instapot would eliminate the need to have 3 other appliances in the kitchen, saving very valuable kitchen space, counter space. And I'll tell you, I was sold at that point, right? And it wasn't, I promise it wasn't the flattery. It was like the eliminating multiple appliances that got me. Um, and when he spoke, he was offering a solution to something that was annoying me, which was that we had all these different appliances for different things, and it just was so much taking up space. Like it was just so much space. It was something that bothered me, and he provided a valuable way of solving the problem so that I could use one appliance to cook and save time to cook multiple dishes. So the long story there is that features tell, but solutions sell. And so when you look at your pitch from that perspective of how do I identify the problem? How do I highlight the feature? I need to spotlight the solution, present an action, and share the result. All of a sudden, the conversation transforms. So I am going to give you an example, and then we're going to put this into action. We're actually going to create a pitch right now together, and go from there. So let me show you a little bit about the example. So here is the example. Okay, so this is an example of a pitch. A business coach is having a difficult time with lead generation. You offer a done-for-you funnel creation package. How amazing would a done-for-you funnel creation be? I think that'd be pretty awesome, especially if it's to generate leads. And so the pitch would be this: creating a clear and straightforward funnel with us will help you get in front of your target audience, allowing you to take intentional and confident action in selling your services while attracting at least 30 qualified leads over the next quarter. Okay, so as we break that down a bit, right, we've identified the problem, which is that they need to get in front of their target audience. Okay, we are highlighting the feature, which is a very clean and straightforward funnel. That is the solution to their problem, right? We're spotlighting the solution, which is going to allow them to take intentional action. They're presenting the action, which is people are going to be basically going through this funnel and experiencing it, and it's going to give you confidence to sell your services. And then we share the results. You're going to get 30 qualified leads, right? Who wants more leads? And especially qualified leads, not just any leads, qualified leads. It's amazing. So that in itself is the example. And do you see how it's short, it's to the point, and it's simply a gentle part of your process? We're not, strong arming anyone. We're not pushing anyone to do anything. We're just showing them the value of working with you. The next thing that I want to show you is I want to actually take you through, and I want to give you a minute to write your own pitch. Okay, so I want you to think about what is one problem that your target audience typically has, one thing that you come up against time and again, and then I want you to actually write down, just take a minute and write down how you would handle the pitch. What would you actually say, right? Based upon that problem. And what I'm going to do for you as you do this pitch activity is I'm going to bring back up the page that has the steps. Okay, so step one being identify the problem, highlight the feature, highlight a feature, just one, spotlight the solution, present an action, and share a result. So I want to give you just a minute to write your pitch right now. Like I told you, this is an accelerator. I want you to be able to take action tomorrow. So the next conversation you're on, you're able to pitch with confidence, with purpose, from your zone of genius, right? Making small little tweaks that are going to create tremendous results. Here is the thing. So I'm going to give you just a minute to do that. And here's the beautiful thing about this. This type of conversation is not the norm today. It's not. But I've told you before that I don't believe in doing things just to do them, what everyone else is doing. I totally think that myself as blue ocean. When we think of the red ocean, blue ocean marketing metaphor, I think of myself as the differentiator. I don't believe in doing what everybody else is doing when it comes to sales. And so what we see many times is that, you know, people are relying upon their products to sell themselves, right? And they think that by just telling the client over and over and over again, this is the transformation you're going to get, this is all the features and benefits of the product, you know, this is enough, that it's going to be enough. But the reality is that your conversion rate is not going to be what it could be if you approach it from a place of service. And this process is approaching your process from a place of service. Okay, so then the next thing that I want to do, with you tonight, okay, is I want to actually go a little bit deeper, because part of accelerating and part of creating results is knowing where you're going. Okay, so I want to actually do a little activity for you. It's called the vision activity. And this activity is, I want you to, again, we have our paper out, we have our notes out, so we're going to take some notes, and whatever you're doing that on, we're going to do it right now. I want you to think about where your business is going to be 10 years from now. Okay? I want you to think about, what does the future lie for you? What does your life look like? What are you doing with your family? What does your family look like? What's happening with, and how are you serving people, right? What is it? Where are you living? What are you doing for fun? Like, and how are you helping others? So wherever you are today, I want to know how you're going to elevate your business. Okay? Wherever you are today, I want to know how you're going to elevate your business 10 years from now. Right? I really do. I want you to write down, and I want you to really think about this, because this is important. If you don't know where you're going, then you are going to really struggle to create impact. You have to have a vision of what it is that you want to accomplish, and you have to know why. That is important. That's part of helping you accelerate, is being able to have a clear, defined vision. And part of it is the dream. Part of it is, you know, I want to be able to travel 4 or 5 times a year. I want to be able to take off 8 weeks of vacation a year. I want to be able to spend more time with my family, right? And let me tell you a little bit about, you know, why I started my business, as you write down your thoughts here on this vision activity. I started my business because we were in the midst of COVID, and I had just had my son. And after having my son, I was, you know, it was time to go back to work. We didn't have childcare, and just like many other people, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I had to make some really hard decisions. And one of the things that was striking me is that when I had my twins in 2016, I went back to work after they came home from the NICU 4 weeks later. Okay, 4 weeks after my children came back from the NICU, I went back to work. And when I say back to work, it wasn't like you're going into a location, you know, you're going into an office, you're working in a 9 to 5 and you come home. No, I was traveling, staying in hotels. My kids and the au pair were with me in the hotels. Like as infants. It was absolute madness. But this is what it is when you are in, you know, working in banking, finance, working in corporate. And I know those of you who worked in corporate can feel it and know it, that the expectations and the pressure to perform, especially after you have children, is so hard that you just, you know, you dive in. And so I did. And like, when you like,
Yeah, of course you saw the girls' first steps, you saw about these things.
And I just realized that like I probably missed those things, right? Because working for me was like 80-hour weeks. that was what work was. It was just nonstop. And, so when I had my son and all of this happened, and I looked at the situation and just said, I don't want to miss everything again. I don't want to. I want to be able to have the life that I want. And this high pressure, high stress, never, no matter how much you kill metrics or help create impact, or, like we're rolling out programs and the numbers that, like, no matter how much you're hitting things, there's always another number. Like, there's always another thing to hit, and it's never good enough, right? And it just struck me that it wasn't what I wanted. Like, I just didn't want it. I wanted something different. And so I gave up my career. I said, I want to be with my children. Like, I want to watch them grow up. I don't want to, be a bystander and think that, and I'll tell you the truth, right? There was one of my mentors. We've all had mentors. I hope you have a mentor right now. If you don't, you're welcome to DM me. When one of my mentors said to me, you know what, Ryleigh? There is no such thing as work-life balance. She said, you need to just aim to be there for the moments that matter. And so that was my mantra when I had the twins. That was my mantra. It was, I just need to be there for the moments that matter. It's okay. I just need to be there for the moments that matter. I can be a weekend mom and I'm going to be happy. It's fine. Like I'm almost at the pinnacle. I'm invited to the senior level table. I'm sitting here. I'm in the room with the big boys. Like, I'm here, right? And I'm the only Black woman in this room. Like, I'm here. And then Maxine came. Then my son came, and I just said, I don't want this. And so I started my company, and I decided that I wanted to help people in a different way, right? And so it went through a lot of different transitions, ups and downs, and figuring it out, and working off of referrals initially, then growing the business, and then figuring out the lead gen piece, and like all of a sudden things clicking, finding the right coach, finding the right mentor, working with them, and then accelerated results, right? And I realized that, like, the whole idea of not being able to have work-life balance is such a crock of, like, crap. It's such nonsense. You can have work-life balance. You can have your cake, you can eat it too. If you want to run a business and you only work 20 or 25 hours a week, you can do it. It's just about aligning and figuring out what's important to you and how you want to serve people. Right? Like, that's really what it is. I work 25 to 30 hours a week now, and I'm there. I'm a full-time mom. If you guys have heard my schedule, I, start my day at 5 a.m. I get up at 5 because I want to, because I love to, because it brings me joy. I get up at 5. I, start my day. I do meditation. I do some work on myself. I join my morning mastermind among other like-minded, like, incredible people. And then I put my mom hat on at 7, right? Like, I put my mom hat on and I'm with my kids all day, and I work in the evening. And the joy that I have of being able to see those things is just incredible. So when I think about my own vision, right, I have big goals. I have those big goals that scare you. And I hope you do too. I hope you have those goals that you're sometimes even afraid to say out loud, right? Like when you say, like, you know what, in 10 years, I want to be an 8-figure company. Like, I want you to have those goals that are scary to you, because they're possible. It's possible. It's a matter of putting the work in. It's a matter of finding the formula. It's a matter of being willing to test and try and adjust and tweak and, do the things, but it's all possible. And I've met so many of you, right? I've met so many of you, whether in Money Flow Mentors, maybe not on YouTube, right? I probably haven't met you on YouTube, but on Money Flow Mentors, I've met so many of you in my Facebook group, and your goals are so incredible, right? And like, that's how I determine how I want to work with people. If their goals are incredible, if they are aiming for something. Tony Robbins said no greater there's no greater fulfillment in life than one, love, or two, service. And when he says that, what he means by that is that service and helping others is supposed to be the core of what we do. If you don't love what you do, you're never going to be really, really, really good at it. And it's going to be very hard for something that you don't love to make you good money, to make you abundance. It's going to be very hard. But for most of you that I've met at this point, that's not the problem, right? The problem comes into things like, I'm getting in front of people, but the conversation isn't working and they're not saying yes, or I'm not getting in front of people and I need help getting in front of people, right? That's like what I'm hearing from you. So as we do this activity and you think about it, I really want you to think about like the service side of things. And I want you to think about, because what makes you so passionate about what you do? Here's the truth, right? 89% of businesses fail. 89%. And why did they fail? Right? At the core, most of them failed because they couldn't make money. That's what made most of them fail. But out there in the cosmos, right, in the universe, how many resources are there for businesses? All the information is out there. Technically, you can find it, right? You can technically find anything you want on YouTube, Google, all the things, right? But you got to search wide and deep to find the real answers, to wade through. And so that's what this week is about. It's about helping you get streamlined results without having to wade through and figure it out. So, with that being said, I hope you have something phenomenal down right now for that vision activity. And I hope that you are looking at that future self and looking at what you're planning to accomplish. And you start thinking about, what steps do I need to take to step into that person, right? What steps do I need to take to bring this into reality so that these pieces are true? These pieces are what happens. It's not a far off dream. It's simply a part of my business plan. Hey everybody, thank you so much for catching this particular program, and I hope that it was incredibly helpful when it comes to helping you pull together an absolutely irresistible pitch. If you would like to learn more about what I do and how to work with me, or any of that good stuff, then I highly recommend that, one, you download the free gift that I provided, the Ultimate Guide to Facebook Promo Groups. That gift is going to give you some really good insight on how you can use Facebook promotional groups to build relationships with people and to ultimately get in front of your soulmate clients. When you download that gift, it also will give you the option to join my Facebook group, which is called Money Flow Mentors, where I go live every single week. I share value and I give you tons of tools and tricks on how to close deals with confidence and with purpose. On top of that, I also offer a complimentary sales audit where you and I, or someone on my team, will go through and actually look at your sales process. We'll look at your opportunities and we'll help you make some improvements right there on that call. So if that is speaking to you, I highly recommend that you hop on one of those calls today, join our Facebook group, and absolutely download the Ultimate Guide to Facebook Promo Groups. I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing holiday, and thank you so much for coming to this event. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, how absolutely amazing was that? Thank you so much, Ryleigh, for sharing how to create an irresistible sales pitch, but as well sharing some of your story. I know that a lot of people can really relate to your story. As a mom, I have two boys, so I understand how absolutely busy life can get and that we don't want to miss anything, right? So let me know in the comments what you thought. Do you have a sales pitch ready? Do you have any questions? We'll be happy to answer them. Now, our next speaker is already waiting, and I know that she's ready to bring the fire, and she's going to talk about how you can create $1,000 or more, the easiest path. Sorry, I should have said that, right? Because we don't want anything hard to accomplish in just the 1 week. But what's the easiest path that you can make $1,000 or more right now before the holidays? So we're going to say hi to Leah. Hold on. Here you go. Hello.
Hello, Sophie. Great to be here with you today.
I'm so excited to have you. So welcome. So Leah is the co-owner of Digital Trailblazer, right? With your husband. I totally love that you work with your husband. That is amazing. But you help experts, coaches, course creator launch and scale and truly make a really, really big profit, which is so amazing. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yay. Awesome. I'm happy to be here with you. I think this is a fun topic, a challenge, and something that a lot of people need, just a jumpstart and a boost to get things moving. So I think this is awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited. Did you want to start us off and just let us know a little bit about you?
Awesome. Yeah. So my husband and I have been online since 2016. We come from very different spaces. He was a band director. I was a registered nurse. Like, this is not where we originated. However, we were driven to create a lifestyle for our family where we could be home. My husband at the time, imagine praying for children for 10 years of marriage to finally have your first child come. And like, my husband was flying out Sunday afternoons and flying back Thursday nights or Friday mornings with his job. Like, it was not at all what we had envisioned and we've been praying for, all that, single parent time. So we came online and had to figure out how to make money. We had to figure out a way to have a flexible lifestyle that we wanted. And that's really where things took off for us, where we found first affiliate marketing and then really moved in to digital courses and coaching, and it just really exploded. And now we've, moved our family across the country. We live in Southwest Florida. Our second son has never known parents that work outside of the home. So it's been beautiful. Yeah, we've done really well. We're 7-figure earners in this space, and I'm excited because we've been able to use our gifts now, not just to bless our families, but be able to help other people bring their gifts to the world. And whatever their specialty is, we can help them reach more people and make a bigger impact leveraging our gifts. So that's us.
I am so excited. I'm so excited to have you here. So I can totally relate. I was military. So for 12 years, my husband's military, so he does travel from time to time. Actually, he was just on course, so he was away for about 3 months. Oh, wow. He was home on the weekends, so I can't complain too much. But let's get right down to business. So today we're talking about the shortest path, the shortest way that we can make $1,000 before the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 10 days, right? 10 days before Christmas. So if I had to start from scratch and I needed to make at least $1,000 before Christmas, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would do. And this is totally low tech. This is totally beginner level. And it's just going to take a little bit of grit and a little bit of work, and you can totally do this. So, I am assuming if you're just getting started, you have a very small audience or no audience. So that's okay. Okay. However, most people who, even if they're just getting started, they've started to network a little bit, meet some people in the space. Maybe they haven't made any sales yet, but they're sort of trying to put themselves out there. Great. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with people that you've connected with already and start to ask some questions. Okay, start to ask some questions about what exactly do they need right now. What do they need right now? What is their biggest struggle? And you can do that via chat. You can jump on a call. You're not trying to sell them anything at this point, right? Right now, we need to figure out what exactly are we going to sell, because we're going to put together something unique, a quick little end of year special that is exactly what they need. And it's going to be so packed with value that it is a no-brainer. So this doesn't have to be something as a course creator or as a coach or an agency or whatever you do. It doesn't have to be something that you're totally in love with. This is just something we're going to do this one time. All right. So don't like be hung up about, well, I don't really want to do that. Like, we're going to do this one time. We're going to get it out there. We're going to make some money, and we're going to really get things jump started. But first, we need to figure out, of the people in your niche or in your industry, in your target audience, who you've been connecting with or who you can go out and start connecting with, what do they want and what do they need? So the idea being, usually this is going to be like, if we want to keep this simple, okay, keep it super simple, it'll either be a done for you or a one-on-one coaching sort of situation. So you don't need to have all of this time putting together a program and doing all of these detailed things. It's like, okay, what do you need? Oh, you need some funnels set up? I can do that. Like, or, oh, you need your website created, or your lead magnets, or your graphics, or whatever, right? Or you need help with how to set up your Facebook group and how to start generating traffic, or whatever they need. We're going to create a custom package that really speaks to your people. Okay. So you got to figure out who your people are. And hopefully you've done that. If you are in business, you kind of have an idea who you like to work with and the type of offering you have. But you want to reach out to them and start some conversations, not pitchy salesy, but like, hey, I'm working on something. I want to make sure that it's really good and serves people. You know, can I ask you just a couple quick questions? Not trying to sell you. Right. And then ask some questions. Where are they? What do they need? And whether they're in business, like, my perspective is from business because we help businesses. However, yours might be in fitness. It might be in health. It might be in relationships. So ask questions about where they are right now and what do they need right now. Okay. Something down and something dirty, exactly what they need. And then from those conversations, pack it full of value. Make it so stupidly yes. Like, I absolutely, yes, I'm going to give you my credit card because I need this so much. So we want to create some sort of package that's about $500. If you want to make $1,000 in 2 weeks or 10 days, right? Minimum $500. So you make 2 sales, right? You could, if it's really packed, you could do $1,000 offer. That's fine. You just want to make sure it's the amount that they're spending is so little compared to the value that they receive, right? That it's like, oh yeah, totally. Like 6 months of coaching for $500, I'm in. Like, or my first, 2 funnels and whatever, I'm in. Like, it has to be big value. Okay. So take tomorrow to ask these questions. Get not what you want them to have, but what they say they need. We don't have time to convince them and educate them on what they need, right? We got to go meet them where they are. What do they feel like they want? What do they feel like they need? And let's craft a beautiful package that's a no-brainer for them at $497, $997, or whatever. Now, this does not need a bunch of tech. Like, if we were to sit down and you had 6 months, you're going to launch this big program, blah, blah, like, you'd do everything right. Like, you'd have the funnels and you'd have the membership site and you don't need that. This is 10 days. That's it. So we aren't going to use a bunch of tech stuff. We're going to use PayPal invoice. Like, when you talk to somebody and they want to purchase, you send them a PayPal invoice with a few clicks for free and they pay, right? So you're not going to set up a Stripe account and do all that kind of stuff right now. You also don't need a membership site. Down and dirty, no tech. Let's get this out there. So if you are going to do one-on-one coaching or do a small group setting coaching or whatever, just create a Facebook group and stream into there so that they have ongoing, they can go back and review it. They can go back through those videos and do a playback and say, okay, I missed this part. I have to watch this again. And they have access. And you don't have to manage a membership group or get a membership site or get all that set up right now, right? This is 10 days. We're moving fast and we're keeping this super simple and super low tech. All right. So once you know what your package is going to be, from your research, and you figured out sort of like, okay, I understand PayPal invoice. I have a Facebook group. I'm going to use it. Okay, got this. Right now we start promoting. So like tomorrow night, you would start promoting this, and you can do this. Really, you should do this in both a pull and a push kind of way. This isn't a sit back on your haunches and wait for someone to raise their hand. Okay, you allow people to raise their hand, but you're also going to go out there and take some action, because we got 10 days or 9 days if you start promoting this tomorrow. So make a great post, getting people to raise their hand. You're not going to give them all the details. Do not like word vomit on them. That is not going to get people to raise their hand. Simply raise their curiosity level and, have them raise their hand. So if you could get all of your funnels and systems set up for your business without the headache of XYZ, it's the whole if something without something, it's that whole formula. If you can goal without pain, okay, would you want to know how, right? Can I help you? And then have them raise their hand on the post, and you can reach out to them from there. But you should also be connecting with people. Now, what's cool is that you don't need to reach 100 people with this. This is going to be a no-brainer offer that people want and is exactly what they need and is so packed with value. And you only need 2 sales, right? You don't need to like crush, go crazy with this. Keep it simple. So end of your special, you're going to do some curiosity posts like that. If you have the opportunity to use other people's groups or networks, do it. If you have a friend that has a Facebook group that serves your target audience, ask them if you can promote in there. If you are in professional networks, we have a lot of people in academia and different, professional arenas that they have networks that they're a part of that they can leverage those. This is the time when you cash in those chips. Okay. Leverage those networks that you can plug into and start those conversations. Now, you don't have a fancy sales page. You don't have a big funnel to put them through. You're just getting them to raise their hand, and then you get them into chat. In chat, you're going to get them to a sales call. Okay. You're going to get them, move them over to the sales call. And on that sales call, just simply listen to their goals, listen to their challenges, and then offer them a way to overcome those challenges and reach their goals with this amazing, like stupidly yes package that gets them exactly what they need. And it is totally underpriced for the amount of value that you give.
I love that. I love that a lot. I think the number one problem for any launches or anything else that, we do on the online space is that we never ask the question. We just assume that our imaginary avatar wants it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So we don't ask the question. So I absolutely love that. Market research can make or break your launch. So 100%. This makes sense. If you have 10 days to take that one day to slow the fork down and ask the question, can definitely help. And using what you're good at, that is amazing. I cannot even tell you how many times actually people come to me all the time, and I can sell a $4,000 package from behind the scene in the DMs, because people need that. People need the help with the funnel. So if you're really, really good at something, use it.
Absolutely.
And don't assume that other people are good at it. We're all different. We all have different strength,
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to do a whole bunch of calls. This, honestly, if you think about, you need at least 6 calls if you have a 30% close rate. And this should be a program that is a no-brainer. And so just to make 2 sales, 6 calls would be your goal for getting people on the phone. So keep it super simple and don't overcomplicate this.
That is true. And I love that you said that, once you have everything down, so don't procrastinate, but definitely figure out all of your steps so that you don't get stuck anywhere into the process and get to work. I love it so much. Thanks, Leah.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, keep it simple. The biggest challenge, I think, for folks would be, or what they perceive the biggest challenge in taking this on is going to be, how do I get the calls? Like if I get people who are interested, or if I'm talking to someone who fits my target audience who might be interested, how do I get them into a call? Scripts are great-ish, but I really don't like them. because people get into a script mindset and they don't have a conversation. I have so at the beginning of our whole business journey, we actually started in network marketing, which was totally prospecting, but I got really good. and I made tons of sales doing it, but I wasn't scripted. I was having a legitimate conversation with people, listening to them, what they wanted, what their challenges were, and then offering a solution to those challenges, help them reaching their goal. Like if, you tell me you want to launch a digital course, but you have no idea how to even start, but and you want to reach them, minimum $10,000 a month. I'm going to be like, okay, well, I can help with that. That's actually what I do. Right. Like, so if you need that step-by-step guidance of exactly what to do to have a very successful launch and be able to make $10,000 a month ongoing, we can jump on a call, keep it simple, and just kind of lay out what it looks like to get our help to do this, because this is our expertise, right? And so just casual listen, very active listening skills for what they're looking for and what they do and don't want to do, and just offer them the chance to talk it through, right?
I love that. Yeah, I was in network marketing too. That is how I got started. It's a great place to start. So,
Yes.
It's all good. But yeah, we talked about that often, that you have to be yourself when you talk to people, right? That, hey girl, if you're not one to say, hey girl, I am not, it's not going to come out natural at all. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. I don't know. But my one pet peeve for me, and I had a client that I think she's in Germany, and I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But she would always start an email, a message, a DM with, hi, dear. But for me, hi, dear means, oh, you're garbage and you're about to sell me something completely scammy.
Right.
Doesn't
Or
mean
you're a man, someone of the opposite sex overseas who's inappropriately messaging,
yeah.
hi, dear. Like,
right?
block.
Right? I am glad I am not the only one. I see a hi, dear, I block you, you're done. So, but it might not be the same for everybody, and that is okay. But if you want to attract the people and people you're going to work well with, being yourself and
Yes.
not using the word dear, in my opinion.
Yes. That's like a
Oh
huge red flag. And that's a big thing with those conversations, is that you want to be real and you don't want to raise red flags. Like the whole, just, you want to slowly work that conversation, slowly just be real, be a true person, and don't like anything that feels spammy, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, just be real. I'm like, hey, I can help. I mean, that's what I do, right? I'm not going to say it in a spammy way. I'm going to be straightforward and be like, if you really want to help with that, I can help you. That's our expertise, right? So just be real. I have a friend, Diane Hockman, and she's big on like having conversations and different things. And she's a leader in the network marketing space. And her big thing is like, if you wouldn't do it in person, don't do it on Facebook. Like, if you wouldn't walk up to someone and say, will you be my friend, without actually talking to them first, if you wouldn't do that in real life, you probably shouldn't do that on Facebook. If you wouldn't walk up to a complete stranger at a store and be like, hey, would you like to make some money? Or like, whatever your pitch is, like, if you wouldn't do it in real life, don't do it on Facebook. Like, be real, just a total real person.
I love that. Now, I know you also have an amazing group and a gift for everybody. So I am going to put the links into the comments for everyone, and I'll be sending that by email as well. But here you go. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your Facebook group and your free gift for everybody?
So our Facebook group is the best place to find us and get great stuff from us for free all the time. I'm not going to lie. So she's got the link in there. You can click it. It's our coaches and course creators group. We are live in there at least once a week, where we do live training, and not like fluff training. This is actual like step by step to help you in your business training. So you definitely want to join that. We do not only live training, but we do tip sheets and all kinds of stuff we give away in there. So you want to join that group. And we also have our client, geez Louise. Okay, client.
I'm French and half the time I cannot pronounce anything, so you're good.
Okay, good. Our client acquisition accelerator PDF download. So this is an ebook to help you with actually getting clients for your business. So you want to download that, get access to that, but make sure you join the Facebook group because there's going to be ongoing stuff, not just a one-time thing for you. So, and through the Facebook group, you can message me. We can talk. If this is what you do and you're wanting to, it's coaching, it's courses, that sort of thing, and you're looking for building that audience for, either launching or scaling what you already have, that's what we do. So talk to me and we'll see, how we can help you with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I loved all the tips today. Absolutely awesome. And honestly, 1000% actionable. These are things you should be doing right now if your goal is to make some money before the holidays. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure being here.
Thanks so much for coming. We'll chat soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, thank you so much. These are absolutely amazing tips. These are things that you can do. These are things that I don't want to say easy to do because I understand that sometimes it can be overwhelming, but these are things that you can do. You have everything that you need to do right now. So obviously let us know in the comments if you have any questions at all, and we are going to keep moving. I want to talk to you about how to think outside the box and a few ways that you can, make that $1,000 before the holidays. Now, I want you to think outside the box because like a lot of people say, you always feel like you need something else. You need a website, you need a funnel, you need to create some freebies, spend hours on it on Canva to create this amazing, PDF. But the truth is that you don't. It's all part of the procrastination and your way of basically just not doing the shit that you need to do in order to make money right now, right? So if you're looking back and you're always thinking like, I feel like I've been doing a lot of the work, but I'm not really making the money, actually sit yourself down and really, really ask yourself if you've done the actual things that would be moving your business forward and creating clients and creating an income. So definitely think outside the box. So keep the chat going. Let me know, how you think you can make $1,000 before the holidays or what you think you're missing. So I've sent emails this week on how you can create a course without spending a dime on, all of the membership course. So the ones that come to mind are Kajabi right now. Those are kind of expensive, right? $150 a month. Some of them are limiting you by how many courses you can have. So if you missed that, don't worry, I will send it again throughout the week. And actually you can access it directly onto YouTube, but you can create a course very easily just by using something as simple as Trello and YouTube. So with YouTube, when you post a video, you can put them as private, which you have to give an email address for that person to be able to get it. Unlisted, so they need the link to access it, or public, like this is public. Obviously today, anybody that, I don't know, magically end up on this workshop will be able to access it. And with a Trello, it does not have to be complicated. So if at any point during this presentation you feel like there's something that could stop you, like you would need something that you don't have, let us know in the comments and we'll literally figure out a way for you to be able to create whatever you need without spending a dime. So that's my goal. So one of the ways that you can make $1,000 as well this week is by creating a bundle. So you are all creators. You're creating shit like there's no tomorrow. There's blog posts, there's websites, there's YouTube, there's podcasts, or maybe you just have social media and you're creating and you're always creating. You're creating those free challenges. but you have everything you need to create a bundle if you don't have one right now. So one example would be to create a grocery list, a meal plan, and to join the challenge for $17. So that's if you were, for example, in a health and wellness industry. So it's to create something that honestly you'd probably do for free, but to put a small price on it. And honestly, people are going to show up differently if they have paid even that small amount of money. So, and you're going to show up differently. They're going to show up differently. You're going to be able to get some great results. And at the end of that challenge, you can do a sales pitch without being salesy, of course. Now, the second, if you were a product-based business, so you could, so let's say you're selling products. So whether you're on Shopify or Etsy, or maybe you have neither of those. So you may have to help me out in the comment if maybe I just don't know the platform. So those are the two main ones that I know, using Shopify and using Etsy. But maybe you have a product that you can bundle up with a PDF, or you bundle up a few of your already done blog posts. So you put that into like a cute little ebook and you bundle it up with your product. The product are still the same prices, it's just a bigger package. It looks fuller, lots of value added to those. All right, so you can also do a paid workshop. A workshop would be something, what can you teach in 2 to 3 hours for a low price, right? So it could be $27, $47, $97, $127. Research shows that if your price ends in 7 or 9, they're more likely to be sold. So all of my examples today ends in a 7. Fun fact. Now, when you are marketing these challenges and these workshops, you want to make sure that you're fixing a problem, right? So lose 30 pounds. And then you want to make sure that you give them a time frame. So if you look in a lot of commercials or marketing, so there's always a time frame. So lose 30 pounds in 15 days. I'm not sure that's quite healthy or achievable, but you get the point. Or maybe it's a toothpaste, whiten your teeth in this many days. So having a time frame, something that's really tangible, really helps. So what can I learn? What problem can you fix for me in 2 to 3 hours? So that's really the key, right, to marketing and selling yourself. And that market research that Leah mentioned is going to be a complete game changer if you do that before you start that. If you want a copy of what I ask people on market research call, just send me an email at whatif@sophieriley.ca. I'll just put that here, or just reply to any of my emails. I'll just send you a copy. Here we go. So definitely do that market research and then get to work. So another one that you can do, I cannot stress this enough, but done for you service is everything. Everything. I cannot even tell you how many times I was able to sell a done for you service for a lot of money. So we are talking like $1,500 to help you set up your business for 3 months. Literally anything. So done for you service. What are you good at? Are you really good at Facebook ads? Are you really good at repurposing content? People may not want to spend hours repurposing their content, so you can grab, let's say, a masterclass, a training video series, all of their video, get the transcription and just repurpose the content. Is that something that you're really good at? Are you really good at Pinterest? So maybe you're really good at setting up Pinterest, right? There's quite a few steps when you're setting up Pinterest and linking your website and applying for the rich pins and setting up the boards, all of that. So maybe that's something that you're really good at. Maybe you're really good at done for you calendars. So 30 days of workouts, 30 days of healthy meals, 30 days of content on social media, whether that is Instagram, Facebook, why can I not think of those? LinkedIn, those done for you services work really, 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 really well. Are you really good at doing funnels? Are you really good at setting up a business for the first 30 days? Anything like that that you can do will sell if you're willing to do it. And like Leah said, it does not have to be something that you're like going to do forever and this is the end of my notes. I have a lot of things to share. So I want to know, is there something that you can do? Now this, like this was really businessy, like, but let's say you have a product services or like mail listening, you're a designer. What can you create a done for you service that you can sell this week? There's a lot. I'm willing to bet I can find something for absolutely everybody watching. All right, so you can also do a higher ticket workshop. So maybe you just want to reach out to 5 people and get them some serious results in 2 to 3 days. So those are typically live workshop. They're typically at a higher price. So you can do $297, $197. However, it's the French in me. I keep bumping all of my equipment. Regardless, a high workshop. So you had a live workshop. This is a high ticket workshop. So the live workshop would typically be 2 to 3 hours. This would typically be 2 to 3 days in a few hours a day. So what is something that you can teach? Actual results. You know why these are absolutely amazing is because you get a lot of, conversation face to face with everybody, which is amazing, but you get to give results. And what those results get you at the end of that live workshop is testimonies. So those are amazing because you can use those over and over and over and over again in your next launch in your business. I've given you a million of ideas. That sounds good. I will help you with your follow through, Mel. We're going to have dinner soon. Okay, so you can also create a mini course. So if you are maybe on the shy side and maybe doing a live workshop is too overwhelming for you, I totally get it. You could create a mini course. A mini course would be something maybe a little bit less expensive, and it's just a series of short videos. Again, if you were to create a mini course, you can create it with just putting your video on YouTube, putting them on unlisted. You can create a quick Trello board if you want it. If you have not received it, I will send it again through email and I'll put it in the Facebook group. So you can just copy the board. You could also, something as simple as 5 emails. Literally put 1 video per email, 1 email per day. Since this is very short, if you haven't started your email list, that's fine. You can use your Gmail, and every time you sign up a new client for that mini course, you can schedule the emails to go out with your Gmail. So when you press send, there's typically a little arrow looking thing beside the send button. Just schedule the emails, right? To make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself and trying to remember to send those emails every day. Think outside the box and don't let techie things or the overwhelm decide that you're not going to do this, because the truth is you don't need any tech, nothing crazy. So you could create mini course. Let's see. Okay, so you could bundle up a program, a product with a friend, something that is complementary. Now, I want to say, so sometimes you want to bundle up something together, but using the collaboration with whatever you're doing this week to make money is key. Okay? What's a collaboration? You could reach out to, let's say that you're really, really big on Instagram. You can reach out to maybe 5 complementary, not the same business, but complementary business to yours and ask if you can host a live together, right? So it's 30 minutes, it's an hour, it's on Instagram, where all the audience can see that you're live. It gets posted as an IGTV after, and you get to offer, depending on who you're speaking with, you might be able to just go right into the paid offer, or you offer a freebie and you're able to upsell after. But using collaboration, so if you think about it, if you're ready, your business is ready, you know what you're selling, and you go on 5 lives this week on top of whatever audience that you have, you might be able to reach 5 to 25 times the audience that you were going to reach. It doesn't cost anything. There's no ads involved. You just reach out and you make some new connection with like-minded business owners. You can also reach out to people who have groups and leverage the group. So you can ask if you can do a little workshop. You can ask if you're in network marketing or you can help network marketers, you literally reach out to any of them and say, I'd love to help you out in a power hour and teach you how to do XYZ. And that gets you to be seen by a lot more people. So collaboration, whether you want to collaborate on the product or just on advertising and reaching out to more people, is key. Seriously. I do have a big, giant list of Facebook group that you can advertise in. So again, send me an email if you'd like that one, and I will send it over your way. All right. So another way that you can, seriously, I can talk all day about how you can make money, but I'm going to remind you that you need to pick one and run with one. So which one works better for your business, for you, right now? Which one can make you $1,000 in the next few days? So another way that you can do is that you raise your prices. So you want to make sure that, when you're thinking of raising your prices, okay, are you raising your prices because it's time, right? So a few ways if you need to raise your prices, if you're a coach, if you're a service provider, maybe you feel like your boundaries are always crisscrossing each other, however you want to say this, but you feel like you're, I don't want to say being used, but it almost sometimes feels like that, right? So there's a few indicators of if you should be raising your prices. Sometimes when you get started, you start a little bit low and then you go up and then you go up, and that is totally okay. That is amazing. That's how I did it as a service provider. Nobody ever got mad, so don't worry about that. But if you're going to raise your prices, you let them know why and you let them know when. Say, this is your last chance to grab this for this price. So this works better if you already have an audience, right? If you have an email list and that type of stuff. But it is definitely something that works. All right, so another way you just start to realize that I can go on all day about how you can make money. And I want to hear back from absolutely everybody, and I want to hear that you crush this goal. So another way that you can that you can make money, so make $1,000 more before the holidays, is to add a VIP offer. So really, really often you're launching something or you have a course and you're just selling that course. So let's say you have a course on how to use Pinterest. Okay, so that course can be $97 or $197, it doesn't matter. Adding a VIP offer to it means that maybe you also offer 2 one-on-one sessions with you. And that one-on-one session is worth a lot. So if My course was $297. For a VIP offer, I would do $697. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but there's always people who want to be special. There's always people who want to feel special. And I want to say it right now that in case you didn't know, people are willing to spend their money. Seriously, for what you have to offer and what you are good at. And to spend 30 minutes or an hour with you can get them insane results regardless of what field you are into. So if you do not have a VIP offer to a course or to what you have to offer, you are most likely leaving money on the table. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that. All right, so 10 days of tools is also another way that you can make money right now. So 10 days of tools use affiliated marketing. So what that is typically, because we're talking about tools, is that you're using things on the internet world that gives you referral links. ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Otter, Restream. So for those who don't know, I'm using Restream today. There's tons, okay? Tons. I think Tailwind has one. Regardless, you're sharing, let's say, email series, social media series about these tools, and you're sharing your affiliated links, which means that if they sign up with your links, you make a certain percentage of money, depending on how that particular system works. So you could do a 10-day email on the tools that you use to be more productive, the tools you use in your business. Now, I highly recommend that these are tools that you actually use. It just honestly, it tends to be easier to sell something you use and you love than something you just heard of by experience. So you're just sharing what you love. You're just sharing what you love. And that can give you more money in the long term. So sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's a one-time thing. Sometimes it's a one-time thing. And that's okay. All right. Add an upsell to an existing offer. And sometimes it's a downsell. Okay, so you have people that you're talking with, right? And then you get them into a challenge, a masterclass, you get them into your email with a freebie, whatever. You have them in your life, and then you offer them what you have to offer, whether it's a course, whether it's a one-on-one coaching, whether it's group coaching. But you know what? The reality is that sometimes they don't have the money. The reality is that sometimes right now is not the right time for them, and that's okay. Completely okay. But often, if you have a downsell, that they can afford. It is an amazing way to be able to make money and to keep them around for when they are ready, right? So if it was because they need a little bit more convincing that working with you is the right thing, that downsell offer is everything. So again, if you don't have a downsell offer right now, if you don't have an offer, this is not the right strategy for you. You're maybe not there yet, so something to keep in mind for the future. So that downsell offer, if you do not have one, you might be leaving, again, money on the table. Now, if you're already set up, you have a downsell, you have your course, having an upsell can also make you more money, right? So let's say you sign up to, I love the 7, the 9, the 17 little dollar offer, and then you put a $97 offer, at the end. So you already have them hooked. Sometimes what's a little bit more money. So I know that you can think of times that it happened to you, right? And that you were like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, I really need it. And bought it, if you're anything like me. All right. If you have an email list, you have a following, using a coupon code is also an amazing way to make money right now. So, and this can work for product-based business. This can work for courses, coaching. It does not matter. If you want to just have it for right now, you can send it to all your audience. Again, using all the Facebook groups, leveraging collaboration, post in the Collaboration Corner Facebook group anytime you want. Use the resources. Don't just put one post on Facebook and hope that people sees it. But sending a coupon code that's maybe is going to expire in 4 or 5 days, maybe you give it a date. You can also, if you want something more automated, right, you can put it into a welcome sequence. So every time somebody opts into a freebie, they get a welcome sequence, and in that welcome sequence, they get a coupon code, which is a really feel good, but this might not be the right strategy if you want to make money, of course, right now. So I know this was a lot. Again, just pick one. You just need one. You need one to just concentrate on and be able to make money. Now, I want to help you out a little bit with a client formula. And I want to give you maybe a few things that you can look forward to, build up to into the new year. So you always want to expand. You want to expand your network. You don't want to talk to the same 13 people every single day. That shit can get old pretty fast. Now, if you're a beginner, you're using LinkedIn, you're using Facebook, you're using Instagram, maybe TikTok. We are talking TikTok later this afternoon, which I'm super excited about. There is Clubhouse. I am sure I am forgetting about some, but you're using social media. Now, social media, usual techniques are to go and find people on social media or Facebook, and comment on their post, all of that good stuff. So you're expanding. So you're going to go follow people on social media, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. Now, if you want to pass the social media, the way to expand is a freebie. So you're offering a freebie to get email address into so your email list. You're hosting a live event, whether that is a challenge, a live workshop, a masterclass, lots can come to mind. And you also can be a guest speaker, which is an amazing way to grow your network faster. But here's what it also does. If you are commenting on people on social media, adding them on Facebook, you're positioning yourself as a follower. You are following them. You are liking their post. You are commenting on their post. If you offer them a freebie, so a lead magnet, something that you have created in order to get an email address. If you host a live event, welcome to a live workshop, like we are doing today. There's no sales pitch at the end though, so just don't worry about that. Anyways, or a guest speaking opportunity, whether it's on the live on Instagram, live on a Facebook group, live in a summit, live in a workshop, it doesn't matter, on a podcast. You have now just positioned yourself as the expert. So right there, you are the expert. Because you hear really often to position yourself as an expert. This is one of the easiest ways that you can position. I'm sorry about the hands. I just can't help it. It's French on me. But you can position yourself as an expert without having to convince them after million of post ideas and all of like millions of reels and social media tactics. This is how you position yourself as an expert. And the road after there gets to be a little bit easier, in my opinion. All right, so you know how to expand. You need to engage. So yeah, so if you're in the beginner, you're going to engage in social media. You're going to like, comment on Facebook posts, TikToks, Instagram posts, and you are starting to build that relationship with your potential clients. And again, you're positioning yourself as a follower. Now, if you have a lead magnet, a live event, or you're guest speaking, you're already engaging. All you have to do is show up, deliver, have an awesome event. If you're hosting an event, deliver. If you've been asked to be a guest speaker, but you can also go out and say, hey, I'm available. Nothing says you can't. This is what I can do. This is what I can talk about. This is what I can offer your audience. Or a lead magnet. Nothing says that when somebody opts into a lead magnet, you can't say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got XYZ, whatever that is, how to create a course without spending a penny. I just want to make sure that you got it and that you're good. It's not hard. You're engaging. You're continuing that relationship. And then you need to convert. So if you're a beginner, again, you're using social media. It is harder because you've positioned yourself as a follower, but you will DM them and you're going to go through your sales pitch, or you're going to sell them in a sales sequence by email. You're going to kick some ass on the live event or on your guest speaking event, and you can convert them like that. A really, really nice way to convert into the DM. So a few tips on that would be to simply say, hey, I know that you opt into a freebie, you signed up for this event, you showed up to this event, it doesn't matter, whatever you provided, and you just check in. It's called customer service. I just want to check in with you and see if you got it. Were you able to download it? Did you get some results? It doesn't matter. Once they answer, you again provide customer service. Maybe they absolutely freaking loved it. Awesome. Maybe they didn't get it. You send it again, regardless. That leaves a good feeling because you fixed the problem. And then you can say, P.S. Have you heard of XYZ? What are you selling? What bundle do you have right now that you want to sell? How many people now can you think that you can literally reach out to with just customer service and open the door to a discussion to whatever bundle or whatever way that you've decided that you're going to make that $1,000 before the holidays? Customer service. Now, I have a few extra tips on selling, especially if you're selling into the DMs. Okay, so one, position yourself as an expert. So a lot easier when you don't only use social media, but if that's where you're at, that's still amazing and you can still do this. Two, when someone asks for the price, it's totally cool. Give them the price. But that price should always be followed with this sentence. Would it be okay if I sent over some testimonies to show you how, on average, people are getting this results in this many time? So again, what problem are you solving and how fast can you solve it? These are instrumental in getting that sale. Now I'm no longer thinking about that price. I'm thinking about yeah, I want to see some of the results. I'm a little excited. I'm a little extreme. I'm a little curious. I'm curious by nature. So, I'm sure that's not just me. Let me know in the comments. But I'm always curious. So now you've taken them, they're not stuck on the price. Their mind is now looking at the results. You're getting them excited. And of course, follow up in 24 hours to see if they're interested. So those are just a few tips to, one, close sales into the DM if that's what you're doing. Though Leah did mention it, sales calls is one of the fastest ways to get clients right now. So if you have, okay, so let's say, let me know in the comments which way you will be making $1,000 this holidays. Let's say you picked to use a done for you service. All right, so let's say you have a done for you service. You are going to take their videos from 2021 and repurpose them. Okay, so obviously I would probably, if it was me, give like a maximum amount of video or an like hours maybe. So don't go and take yourself on 6,000 hours of video. But let's say that you're going to repurpose content. You can easily get 1 or 2 clients. Scheduling. Okay, I see the question in the comment. I will answer that in a second. So you want to take the service that you're going to offer, right? You want to put an amazing price that you're not going to get anywhere else. Again, this is considering that you've done your market research, you know exactly what they want. And I'm going to say this, that as well, that you might be able to close people that you did market research with. They might contact you and say like, yes, I want that. They might be already interested, which is amazing. But if you want to close 2 clients, so let's say they're $500 each, and trust me, people will pay for that. I have done it several times over. So you have your 2 clients, you need 6 calls. That's it. Like, it's not complicated. You just need to do it. And I know sometimes it's overwhelming, but I believe in each and every one of you that you can do this. Okay. So how do you set up? Clients call the software, the scheduling. So if you do not have a software, I suggest using Calendly. So I'm going to look for the link for you right now. I don't have an affiliated link or anything. It's not the one that I use, but it's the one that I recommend for you right now if you get started, because there's a free version. So it's all you need. So let me just grab that and let you know a little bit about this program. So this software will let you for free set up one type of appointment. So you can link that with Zoom, and you can link it with your Google Calendar or Outlook calendars to make sure that nothing overlaps, right? You don't want them to book an appointment when you're not free. So you can set up one type of appointment. So if you want to set up sales calls, usually is just about 20 minutes. So you would decide on the name of it. You would decide, okay, so I want to do them from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you decide on the block. And again, you don't necessarily need to pick just small little times that you're available in that time, because you're going to link it with your other calendars. So nothing's going to be double booked or anything else like that. And then you can also ask them questions when you use Calendly. So you can, it depends, right, what you are selling. So if we just go back to the content, so you're selling repurposing content, you can ask them, what platform are you in? What kind of content repurpose would you like? Are you looking for video repurposing, so cutting the video into smaller portion? Or are you looking for posts and quotes from those video? You can ask questions like that. But Calendly is an amazing place to start. Totally free to start. So this would be the one that I recommend. Let me know if I answered your question or if you have anything else. Just put it in the comments. All right. Could you suggest any free content repurposing tool other than Otter? Time constraints, maybe a free plan as well. That's a really, really, really good question. So, YouTube. YouTube is free and you can get the transcripts pull from YouTube. So YouTube would be a really, really great tool. And if you're looking, so totally free. And if you're looking for something with video editing, what we use is a free tool as well that's called DaVinci. So you can download it on your computer. It has a lot of great tools to teach you how to use it. If you're looking for intro, outro, or little things to put within that video, Pixabay is an amazing website that you can use for free, and it creates some really, really cool stuff. So that's what I would recommend if you're looking to start just for free. Use YouTube to get the transcripts, and use DaVinci to cut some like videos if you want to do some video editing, and use Canva to create those graphics. So hopefully that answers this question. If you can send me a quick email to remind me, I'll gladly just send you that over by email as well. All right, so awesome questions. I love, love, love that you guys are asking those questions, because you do not have to spend money to get started. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. You can make that money, and you can make it right now. So I'm just gonna, so you just include the link or button and tell them to click, and then the scheduling software takes over. That is correct. So you just send the link, which you're absolutely welcome to put into a button if you have the email software to do that. It will bring up a little calendar, and they'll be able to pick a time. They'll put their email address and their name. I always suggest taking the phone number. You can send a quick text if you want to say, hey, I'm on the Zoom. Are you coming? And because everything is linked together, they'll get the Zoom link right away. So you'll be able to connect with minimal effort, right? So there's less back and forth. Having a scheduling software, honestly, is a huge time saver. So it's calendly.com that you can use for scheduling that. All right, so we have our next speaker. So excited. So Becky is coming to teach us how to harness your unique selling proposition and branding to earn your first $1,000 a week. So let's bring up Becky. Hello, Becky. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Oh my goodness, 1 a.m. I can't believe that you're here tuning in at 1 a.m. You are absolutely amazing. Send me an email. I'll send you the rest, and we'll send you the replay if you feel like you need to get some sleep. I like to go to bed at like 8. At 8 or 9, I'm
ready.
I am done. My kids are not done. They're just morning people, right? Like they're just. I've lost all hope of my children sleeping in. My teenager, who now sleeps in, gets up at 7. Like, who does that? Seriously.
Hello, Alicia.
Oh, we have somebody saying, hey, Becky, amazing. So, Becky, why don't we start by you just introducing yourself? Let us know a little bit about you.
Yes. So, hello, everybody. I am Becky Feigin. I am a business coach. I built my business as the business coach for beginners, and I do still work primarily with beginner entrepreneurs. So talking about landing your first and consistent 1K a week is very much in this wheelhouse. But I also do some stuff with more advanced entrepreneurs now as well. But basically, I started my business in 2018 after running social media for a bourbon distillery and then doing content strategy for a travel brand. The second job was a contracted position, and when that ended, I now knew what it was like to work remotely and didn't want to go back to an office. And I decided to start my own business. And I never thought I'd be starting my own business. How old was I? 23, 22, something like that. I never thought I would be starting my own business at such a young age. I thought that starting a business was for people that had a successful corporate career and then decided they knew so much that they wanted to start their own business now. So it was crazy for me to start it back then. I always had that dream, but never so young. But so I've had my business for a little over 3 years now, and I started as a social media manager since that was my background, quickly shifted into coaching because it just felt a lot more aligned for me, and have been coaching ever since. And I honestly like all things business. I love them. I always say like I'm like the jack of all trades. I love it all. There's not one thing that I think is better than another. I think it's all so important and so just so fun to talk about.
I am so excited. I'm so excited to dive in. Because that's where everybody starts, right? So whether you haven't made money yet or it is slow coming, making that first step, making that first $1,000 in a week or in 2 weeks, you just repeat the process and you get better and then you automate. But getting that foundation might be just what you need to create that 6-figure business next year. So this is going to create some seriously epic momentum right here, right now. We are making money. So let's dive right in.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so like Sophie said, today I'm talking to you guys about your unique selling proposition and branding. So these are two huge things. And really what it comes down to is to make $1,000 a week, and especially in that first year of business, we often overcomplicate things. Now, I also don't want to oversimplify. I don't want to say that it's going to be a piece of cake and just show up and do one thing and you're going to get it. There is work involved, of course, in landing clients and making this kind of money, but I don't want you to think that it has to be this huge, overwhelming, massive undertaking to make happen. Down the road, going into things like launching and different things like that is so valuable. But to say, okay, I want to make some quick money now, really what it can come down to is harnessing things like your branding, like your unique selling proposition to make that happen. So since we're going for quick wins here, the key is showing up really as your unique self and building the powerful connections with your dream client. So we start with branding. Branding is a really important piece to this, but I'm not talking about your fonts and your color scheme and different things like that. I am talking about the personal brand, who you are, what your story is, why you do what you do, that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I want you to really harness and to really think about is your hero story. And this is something that's going to help you make a deep connection and ultimately can turn into converting people into clients. So your hero story is the story that got you to where you are today. If you leave this out, people aren't going to be able to truly feel connected to you and understand who you are, where you come from, because they're missing this piece of what got you to where you are today. So we need to touch on the heartstrings and get people to really connect with you. We're not sharing some basic story. So, okay, example, your hero story is not what I shared to introduce myself today. We need a deeper, more impactful story that you could share time and time again. And it's your hero story. So think of it as like those chapter books that you read growing up, where there was a main character in that story and they started in one place, they reached this like climax of their story where they have this aha moment, and then they make it home safe or whatever it is. You are that hero, and we need to share your story. It's so important. So when you think about this journey that you're sharing, you want to start by sharing, why did you pick to start your business? What is the reason that you decided you needed to start a business? What does your brand mean based on where you started? So where have you come? Like, how far have you come? What has shifted since when you started? And why does it matter? And then you go into your aha moment that made you realize that you were destined for this work, that this is what you were meant to do. And then you bring them into where you are now. So you start from before you even started your business. What got you to the place that allowed you to decide, that led you to decide to start a business? And really harnessing in every piece of the puzzle that makes you who you are and makes you such an amazing coach or entrepreneur, service provider, whatever you label yourself as. So what I mean by that is there are things that we often forget can help us, that we can leverage to make money and to land clients. Example, what is your background? A lot of people, like, they start their business and they forget that they have a degree. They forget that they had this really awesome career beforehand, that, yeah, maybe they burnt out from that career and that's why they started their business, but there's still experience that you can pull from that. There's still experiences that you can leverage. A lot of people forget about all of these experiences that you had that you can leverage to make yourself an authority. And you're doing all of this from your brand, from your personal brand, your personal story. So with me, I went to school for journalism and I minored in business. I have a lot of stories from my schooling in journalism, from my degree in journalism, that leads me to, like, I'm able to share this story to say, this is why I'm a really amazing business coach, and I can bring it all together. To the naked eye, someone would be like, a journalism major became a business coach. How does that make sense? But when I explain it and I share that story, it clicks and people are like, oh, wow, she actually has a lot that she can help me with that I didn't realize, all because of this background that she has. So I don't want you to forget about any piece. So what I really want you to do is make a timeline, write down a timeline of all of the different events that you've gone through in your life that have led you to where you are today. And don't leave anything out. Like, any little thing that you're like, yeah, that probably has something to do with it, put that into your timeline. And then from there, build that out into a story that you can share. And there's so many different ways to do this. So when it comes to connecting with your dream client and getting them to see what an awesome person you are, what's going to connect them to you, why they're going to be able to relate to you, it's all going to come from this, right? So when you share that story, and let's say, for example, we're leveraging Instagram, you could share that story on your Instagram stories. You can add it to a highlight. I highly recommend, if you do that, to use text and maybe share some photos from your time, like where you were in your life at that time. So I'll sometimes share a photo of me working at the bourbon distillery or whatever it is when I'm sharing that part of my story versus talking, because people seem to consume text content more these days on Instagram stories. Give me 1 second. Then talking.
Yeah, it's all good.
As my dog starts barking. I don't want her running in here and barking. Right? So you can do that. You can share pieces of your story as pieces of content, and you can do that on any platform. If you are on a video platform, share videos where you're telling your story tell verbally. There's all different ways to do it, but sharing your story, that's a huge piece of your brand, and it's going to be a huge connection piece. You want to really humanize yourself. Like, as the online space grows, people are looking more and more for brands that are humanizing themselves, right? They want to know who the person is behind the brand. They want to know who the person is behind the business. So share all of those pieces, because that's going to help you in landing clients. So the next piece of branding that is so important, and what I like to call owning your weird, is essentially sharing, like, identifying what makes you you. And this concept came to me because I realized that I'm a really weird person. Like, I'm very weird. And I could have
I'm there with you. It's all good.
I could have chosen to keep that to myself and be really straight to the point, sharing education about business and hoping that that would get me clients. Or I could be myself and can share every true piece of who I am and build that into my brand and get clients that hire me because they like me. And that's really what it comes down to. Think about it. As you're watching this, how many business coaches have you attended a free event for? How many business coaches do you see in the online? There are so many business coaches. There are so many health coaches, so many mindset coaches. There's so many of us. I don't like to look at it as it's, there's too much. There's not enough space for me. I'm never going to be able to get clients. Look at it as, this is why I need to be myself. This is why I need to own who I am and own my weirdness, own my personality, because this is what is going to get me my dream clients. This is what's going to get people to want to work with me, because it's me that they're hiring. If you put two business coaches in front of you, everything about them is the same except who they are, you're going to pick the person that you like more. Like that's what it's going to end up as, right? So with that being said, what are the unique things about you that make you stand out? And when I say unique things, I think a lot of the time, like I think of, when we're meeting new people or we're in a group and we have to do the icebreakers, and it's like, share a fun fact, and everybody gets so much anxiety about the fun fact. I feel like a lot of times when I tell a client to think of the unique things about them, it's the same kind of clamminess and stress of like, oh my gosh, what's unique about me? Everything about you makes you you and makes you unique. So I want you to make a list of anything that comes to mind. Anything that comes to mind is worth writing out. Make a list of everything that has built you into the person you are today. So for example, my list has things like, I have curly hair. I am horrible at wearing clothes that match. I'm always clashing. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I can't match. Also, I like to be comfortable. Like I'm at home, so I am in my tights.
Exactly.
That don't match the top, but always pretending to be.
Exactly. I'm in my pajamas. Like that's another thing. Like I'm always wearing pajamas, I have sweatpants on too right now. I like all these little things. I horseback rode my entire childhood. I spent a lot of like nights in New York City at concerts in my childhood. Like every little thing that you did makes you you. Like I grew up outside of New York City, maybe you grew up in a really rural area and you spent every single weekend exploring your like land, like finding fun things in a creek or something. I would personally think that's dope, and I would want to ask a bunch of questions about it and be intrigued because I had a completely different upbringing than you, right? So not only is you owning these little pieces of you that you think are totally normal that actually make you super unique, not only is it really good conversation starters, but people are going to find you and either be really intrigued by how different you are or be really intrigued by how similar you are. Both are good. There are some people that are looking for a coach or a service provider that is similar to them, and there are some people that are looking for something different. So owning these things and bringing them into your branding is going to be really powerful. So make a list of those things and know that people want to connect with people online. So again, reiterating that we need to humanize ourselves. So identifying these things and then picking a couple of your most unique features that you really are like maybe you're proud of or you want to share, finding stories from those experiences. So for example, I can pull out a story from my experience being a horseback rider my entire childhood and find a lesson in that I can share to my audience. So you're bringing in your personal experiences and what makes you you and mixing in your business with it and a lesson learned or an experience that brought you to where you are today or something like that. And that is content that you're putting out. And that is really going to connect with your people, push away those that want nothing to do with it, but really connect with your people. And this is a really great way to land clients because the reality is the more time that goes by, the more entrepreneurs that are online, the more people are wanting to buy from people that they like. Like I can't tell you how many times people have reached out to me asking me how they can work with me because they liked me. Like there's not a thing where I'm necessarily selling, but they see something, they really like what I have to say, and they're like, how can I work with you? That being said, you also do want to think about selling, but now I'm like talking all over the place. So let me keep up with my notes here instead of just going off on a tangent to stay with.
It's all good. It's all good.
But another thing that you can think about is the little things about you as well, like your defining features. So for me, it can be like my goofy personality or the fact that I'm literally always laughing. Like 90% of the photos on my Instagram, I'm laughing in them because I just laugh all the time. my curly hair, my dog, my love for the outdoors, different things like that. And you share that, and you share that consistently. For example, if you go on a morning walk every single morning, bring us along on your morning walk. Connect us to you in that space. Again, humanizing yourself. And then people expect to see you on your morning walk. And maybe you have an awesome affirmation you share on your morning walk every day, or an awesome takeaway or lesson, and people look forward to it. So with these little elements that make you, you're owning your branding, and you're sharing all these little pieces, which at the end of the day is going to help you make sales. So then the next piece is your unique selling proposition. So this sounds really nice and fancy, but it's really just simple. It is what makes you stand out. It is the unique approach that you have in your business that makes you different than all the rest. So you now have your branding, and people are picking you over a different entrepreneur because of who you are, and they love you. But now add in you sharing your unique approach to business and what makes you different, and what makes maybe like what leads to your clients getting the best results, or them enjoying their time with you while also getting results, whatever it is. Leaning into that unique selling proposition, it's a gold mine. Like right there is a gold mine for you to landing clients, right? So asking yourself, what is your unique approach to business that maybe others don't have? Now, I want to be clear that this doesn't mean that you have reinvented the wheel. You have created a whole new framework, a whole new way to approach business, whatever your business is. Maybe you have, and if so, congratulations, that's amazing. But it's okay if you haven't. It's simply your approach, because even if I have the same approach as another business coach, there's still that little piece of my approach that's just that little bit different than the other one that makes it unique to me, that makes it my approach, my unique selling proposition. So really leaning into that. Maybe you have a really strong belief that others in your industry or competition don't necessarily agree with, but you have based your business practices off of that strong belief. That's now your unique selling proposition. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be an approach that no one else takes. It just has to be yours. What is your approach? What is the thing that makes you different? It can also be your unique selling proposition can be the fact that you have 10 years of experience in sales. And so you bring your 10 years of experience in sales into your coaching, or whatever it is that your business is. It can be so many different things. But finding that one thing that is your selling point, that you own and that you speak to consistently, is going to make such a difference. So when you lean into your branding and the stories that come with it, along with your unique selling proposition, you're absolutely going to be able to attract dream clients quickly. Now, in the sense of, like, with that being said, there's a difference between having an audience and now attracting them, like attracting your dream clients from your audience to then pull the trigger and like hire you, and building an audience. So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, but like I only have 10 followers, like what am I supposed to do? You want to think about different things. So again, if we're talking Instagram, for example, utilizing, instead of just making a normal post, maybe you're leaning more into reels to share all of this stuff, because that's how you're going to reach a new audience on Instagram easily, right? You can also do outward bound outreach, where you're finding accounts, you're connecting with them, you're engaging, bringing them to you. They see your awesome content that you're creating, and now they feel connected to you. They're intrigued. They want to reach out. Another thing that you want to keep in mind with this is that you want to remember that you need to sell, right? You need, with sharing all these stories, with sharing your unique selling proposition, with creating this content, you want to make sure that you're also taking time to sell whatever it is that you're trying to sell. You need to talk about your offer, or people aren't going to know that it's available to them. So you have to remember that as well. Now, looking at it from like a strategic perspective of like, what does $1,000 in 1 week look like, or just $1,000 in general, that can look like one client at $1,000. That can look like 2 clients at $500, 4 clients at $250, or 5 clients at $200. And you can keep going down. When you think about it, 5 clients at $200, that's really not that many clients. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much money. That is so, like, think about how attainable that is. 5 clients at $200, or 1 client at $1,000, depending upon what it is that your service is. Like, it's pretty dang attainable when you really think about it. So when you show up and are yourself, and you're having make it more personal, right? Like bring in your dream clients in even closer into your community. Start conversations with them in the DMs, not DMing them and saying, want to hire me, but DMing them and starting a conversation, getting to know them, building connection points based on what you've shared, maybe based on what they've shared, and connect with them in that way. And that's going to be a really good way to end up bringing them into your space and getting them ready to buy from you. But building awareness around your brand, around your unique selling proposition is going to be a really impactful way to bring them to you. And then just, again, remember to actually sell your services and to be yourself. Those are the biggest takeaways, and utilizing all of that to make the sales.
I love that. I love that so much. I mean, I'd love to hear what everybody has to say about themselves and how they can stand out. So feel free to share into the comments. But I also know that you have an awesome gift for everybody. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that? And I will drop it in the comments.
Yeah, sure. So for those of you, it could be beneficial for those of you that aren't in your first year of business, but especially for those of you that are in your first year of business, I created a freebie called How to Slay Your First Year in Business. And it is a guidebook that walks you through things that a lot of the time people aren't telling you. So the investments that are worth making in your first year of business, the things that you can kind of wait and hold off on making investments in, different apps to utilize, different programs to utilize, and systems, and how to, there's some tips in there as well about signing clients and landing clients. So it's not like a massive guidebook by any means, but it's probably about 10 pages of a guidebook of a bunch of stuff that's really helpful that I wish somebody told me when I started my business, and told me in terms of what I should prioritize and what I can lay off on for now. So definitely grab that freebie, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. There's also some for the apps and stuff that I suggested, there are some discount codes, which is fun. So there's that too.
Amazing. So I have dropped the link into the comments. So if you're on YouTube, you probably see it. I will also send it by email and put it in the Facebook group as soon as this is over. So if you're watching this, go grab that guide. So many amazing tips. Thank you so much, Becky, for coming in today and giving us a little bit of your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
We'll chat soon.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Okay, amazing. So many amazing tips today. And I'm super excited for our next speaker. We're going to dive right in. We're going to jump in because we have the TikTok coach with us. Let's bring on Samantha. Hello, Samantha. How are you?
Hey, Sophie. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hi. I'm so excited to be talking about TikTok. So I'm not going to lie, though I do scroll a lot on TikTok and consume everybody else's content. It's not one of the platforms that I have mastered at all whatsoever. So I'm so excited to have you on today.
Well, thanks.
Let's give it a second. Can anybody, I cannot hear you at the moment. Oh, here we go. You're back. Okay, I'm not sure why you cut out for me.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a TikTok coach, guys. I help businesses and brands utilize TikTok and making more money. That's not always been my journey, though, Sophie. About 2 years ago, I had a different business in the travel industry, and we all know what happened. COVID happened, and I couldn't pivot. I felt like the only entrepreneur that couldn't pivot through all that, and I turned to TikTok as a way to distract myself. That's where I realized businesses weren't using it to its full advantage, and I took my skill set to learn everything I can about TikTok and using it to helping businesses use it as a marketing platform. So here I am today.
That is so awesome. Yeah. COVID is still happening. I don't know where you are in the world. I don't know. I haven't looked at the news this afternoon, but I know things are coming. We'll just put it like that. All right, so let's dive right in. How can we make money on TikTok?
That's a really good question. So what I realized with TikTok is that where businesses need to use TikTok to its advantage is teaching, it's educating. Is if you value being a thought leader, teach 1/10 of your knowledge on TikTok. And it has to be linked to something that you sell. So try to avoid doing content that will get you go viral, but for the wrong reason. You really don't want to attract the wrong audience, because once you get into that niche audience, it's so hard to get out.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. Yeah, I love the content on people who I'm very techie. I love, you know, behind the scene crap. I love it. Okay, like so the people that are like, "Ooh, have you heard of this website?" or the like 100 million this is website you need to know. Love it. Like literally I could be on their profile for hours.
But I guess what I'll go more into detail is here are the 4 common mistakes I see a lot of people assume about TikTok. They assume it's just for kids. And I don't know about you, but I thought that too. Let me know in the chat if you guys also thought that too, that they had to dance or lip sync on TikTok. Guilty. And they also probably thought that you had to have fancy equipment to film, or you have to be the tech savvy knowledge on getting your content out there and clipping and slicing all your clips. I also thought that. But the truth around that is none of that is actually true. The more authentic that you are on TikTok, the better you actually do. So the whole premise of TikTok was originally, yes, it was originally designed for kids, but it's evolved so much more than that. It has been downloaded over 3 billion times with over, yeah, 3 billion times. And it has over 400 million active users over the age of 30, spending 82 minutes a day on this platform. A day, Sophie. Like, that's
yeah, I believe it. Like, I'm pretty sure if we go check on my husband right now, he's on TikTok.
for over 82 minutes.
Probably, since he's been relocated to the basement for today.
And that specific demographic is not only my demographic, it's your demographic, it's our audience's demographic. They have the disposable income to spend on your high ticket products and services. And the problem with that is also they're watching other people's content, but not yours right now, which is a huge problem that we need to get in front of. So.
Oh my gosh, I never actually thought about it that way. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, your audience is on there. Don't sleep on TikTok. Sophie, did you jump on Instagram when it first launched in 2009?
Sure did.
You did?
No, 2009, no. But like shortly after, like I am on Instagram. I don't love it.
Yeah,
but I'm
you're on Instagram now, but you didn't jump on when it was back in 2009 when it first launched for kids.
So.
For kids.
Did it launch for kids?
It
did. I didn't even know that.
It launched for students. It launched for university kids, and people just thought it's just a digital platform for your photos. Look where it is now. TikTok is where Instagram is right now. Back when Instagram was 2009. So.
Hey. Oh my goodness. Now, how often do you post on TikTok?
So where you want to go with this is you want to be consistent with your strategy on TikTok. And what I mean by that is you want to be frequency is less important than consistency, but quality is still king. What I mean by that as a business owner yourself, TikTok is a small part of your business. So don't assume that you have to create 3 to 5 videos a day in order to grow on your TikTok account. Does that strategy work? Absolutely. But those strategies are usually meant for influencers, for content creators who are dying for that virality or viral metrics, all that fun stuff. You and I, as a business owner, we need to produce quality content and show up consistently with her audience. So post 3 to 5 times a week.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No.
I kind of like it. Awesome. So I have a few questions because I think everybody is more familiar with Instagram, Reels, and all that good stuff than TikTok. So I have noticed that on TikTok, a lot more people are actually speaking through their content versus I know Instagram has like I have a viral list of songs I like. Depending on the time, this song is more popular, so you should use this song. Is that the same thing with TikTok? Is it more song? I have more chance to be viral or reach more people, or is the content with just speaking and teaching something better on TikTok?
So keep in mind, TikTok and Reels, they have different maturity of growth. So where TikTok has already gone through all that process of using a lot of audio choices, yes, it'll still get you to, and keep in mind, that's still what TikTok wants. It wants to still be fun, enjoyable, but still bring on the educational side. Whereas Reels is still early on in its stages. I don't even think I think it just passed its 1 year mark. I think I could be wrong. But that's
Has it been that long?
so the song choices on Reels, yes, the reason why people suggest to use songs on Reels is because if someone uses a song or likes that specific song, you're gonna get content to them more. Meaning if I like Britney Spears Toxic 5 times already, it's going to keep sending me more videos that's using that audio. It's the same with TikTok. If I did the exact same thing where I like the song for 5 times already, it's going to keep sending me more content related to that. But with TikTok, you don't need to always use song in order to get your content seen. What you want to do is add value. And there's 4 ways of adding value. In creating educational content, creating entertaining content, creating engaging content, or creating inspirational content. That's the way you would always add value. And then once you've mastered those 4 pillars, you're going to add in the promotional of your products or services that you want your audience to know more about.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And how would you say you sell on TikTok? So Reels, Instagram, you talk in the comments, in the DM, you have your bio where you can give an external link to, let's say, a freebie, website, whatever it is. Would it be the same with TikTok?
So before you start selling, though, you want to think of 4 things to ask yourself before you get to the selling part. The first thing is, what is the goal of this video? The second question is this video going to add, like, what value you're adding? The third question you're going to ask yourself is, who is this video for? Is it for your cold audience, the ones that don't know who you are, don't know what the problem is, don't know what the solution is? Or is it a warm audience or your hot audience? Because then that will determine your call to action at the end of the video. And then the fourth question you want to ask yourself is this user-focused or self-focused? You always want to try to use language around the user. Your audience is your hero. You are not the hero of your content. Your products are not the hero of its content. Your products and services are the guide to helping your hero, aka your audience, get to overcome their pain point and get their end results that they desire. Okay, keep that in mind. So knowing this, in order to sell on TikTok, first you have to add value. And then when you're ready to move your audience up their engagement ladder, depending if they're cold, warm, or hot, that is where you're going to do your call to action to pull them into where you want them to go. But prime your audience and focus your content on the who, the what, the why. The how is what they're going to pay you for in order to get.
I love that so much. Okay. I know I have so many questions. If anybody else have questions, just drop them into the comments and we'll make sure to answer those. So Instagram, I'm comparing it to Instagram, because I think Instagram is what we maybe know the most as opposed to TikTok. Would you say, I hate writing? I am not a writer. I don't mind doing the reel. I hate doing the caption. But I have noticed that most of the caption are not necessarily this long on TikTok. Or maybe I'm just not watching the right content. That is also possible.
So what you want to do is always include caption 1,000%, especially if you're talking. The reason why is because your audience, whether they're on Instagram or TikTok, they're going to be about 60 to 80% of the time watching it on mute. So how are they going to know what content you're producing? You have to add text. And a closed caption, people read faster than they can hear. But that should be your secondary hook. Your main hook should be you and your text overlay on your video. Get them to really hook them in with a great hook, because they only have 3 seconds to decide whether or not they should stay on this video. They're going to ask themselves, is this the video that I need? What problem will it solve for me? And is this person the person that they say is really an expert at what they do? That in 3 seconds, you and I do that exact same thing when we're scrolling. And I'm sure our audience is doing that too. Like they're scrolling, no, go, no. They're asking those questions subconsciously. Okay? So always use text on both platforms.
Both platforms. That's awesome. Now I know that people are going to start to wonder, but where can we find you on TikTok? Do I have that link?
So I am on TikTok as the TikTok coach, Sam V. Also on Instagram at the TikTok coach. I made it simple for people to find me.
Oh yeah, I love it. Okay, I love it. And I know you also have a freebie for everybody. So if anybody else has questions on the TikTok platform, let us know in the comments. And I'm going to drop the link of your freebie into the comments as well. But would you like to tell us a little bit about it? Because it's kind of awesome. I think regardless of which platform, honestly.
So what I compiled for you guys, I'm sure this is a question I get asked a lot. How do you come up with a great hook that makes your audience stay for the video? So I'm going to give you guys my hooks. I think it's like over 50 hooks. I can't remember, Sophie. If it's over 50
200.
Oh, 200. Oh, even better.
200
frameworks.
It's insane. It's like 200 days. That's like a whole year of content.
So you guys cannot have an excuse for having a bad hook and hooking in your audience. Use this framework. It'll just help you plug and play to make sure that you hook in your audience right from the get-go so that they know what problem solution you're offering right off the bat.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 200 hooks. How absolutely amazing is that? I want to thank you so much for taking the time to drop in today. I'm going to go and follow you on TikTok. And then you can creep me to see if I show up.
Show up, Sophie. Show up.
Yes, I will. Yes. It's the one platform, like the videos. But it's awesome. We got to start somewhere. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming over today.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Chat soon. All right, so that is a wrap on today's live workshop. So you still have a minute or two to ask some questions into the comments. If you're not watching on YouTube and you didn't catch any of the freebies, don't worry. I will be sending them by email shortly, as well as I will post them and tag everybody into the Facebook groups to make sure that you did not miss anything. And honestly, I want to know if you're taking the challenge to make and to create $1,000 before the holidays. If you're not sure how, if you want to bounce things off, just put a post into the Facebook group, send me an email. I promise I don't bite. And we're going to talk it out. We're going to make sure that you have a really, really, really solid plan. So posting it to the Facebook group or sending me an email will also make sure that you stay accountable to the goals that you have set out for yourself. So I want to thank you so much for watching today, for tuning in. I know this was like a long time, 2.5 hours, but it was literally jam packed of not only ways you can make money right now, but ways you can make money for the next year. So you guys totally got this. I can't wait to hear how everybody does, and I hope everybody has a good evening.